Fitness Friday, I spoke with a fitness trainer to get us on the right track in choosing a diet plan that works for you. Definitely something that can be tough, but really something that anyone can do with the right tools. Take a look. This morning for Fitness Friday, we're talking about the importance of choosing the right diet plan. We have Brody McMurray in with Payne's Gym to explain and give us some tips on that. How's it going, Brody?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So first off, I guess, how does a person find the right diet plan for them? Because there's so many out there nowadays.
Exactly. There's a ton out there. The biggest thing is you want to find a diet plan based on your goals. That's kind of an obvious one. But for example, if you're wanting to build muscle, you're going to want more calories, more protein, more carbohydrates. If you're wanting to lose weight, you're going to want to decrease all that. So first, you got to find what your goals are, and then go from there, essentially.
And then is it important to check with your health needs as well? Maybe talk to your doctor, try to figure out, based on your health, what diet would work best for you along with your goals? Exactly,
yeah. So if you have diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, stuff like that, there are specific diets that you will need to follow. That's where I come into play a lot of times. I get a lot of people, they went to the doctor and they're like, hey man, I got to get my health in order. Like, what do I need to do? Look at the charts. Okay, well, we got to get your, if you're pre-diabetic, we got to adapt your diet accordingly, if that makes sense. So
definitely. And so how does physical activity play a role in your diet plan and figuring out the level of physical activity that you should be doing?
That's one of the most important parts. Like personally myself, I'm extremely active. So that affords me more calorie intake. I can eat more, I can have more cheat meals, I have a lot more flexibility in my diet because my activity allows for such. Now, a lot of people, if they have a little bit slower metabolisms, if they're not as active, they're going to have to be a little bit more particular on what they eat. So I always put it to people this way: if the more you work out, the more you exercise, the more you walk, just any type of activity in general, you can eat more. It allows more flexibility. So it's kind of an incentive to exercise as well.
Yeah, and I think a common misconception is that when you're dieting that, you have to give up the cake or cookies and you only have to eat vegetables. But that's not really what we're talking about necessarily.
No, and that's not realistic. A lot of times if a client or a person in general, if they try to be extremely strict with their diet, it leads to burnout. So a lot of times I try to preach flexibility. I try to preach enjoyment. Obviously health, eating healthy, quality nutrients, quality foods is important. But I like to tell my clients, I'm like, look, you have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the diet, because if you don't, you'll lead to burnout. But there's ways to go about it. Like, you can eat healthy and still enjoy it. You just have to do your research or hire a professional. It makes it a lot easier that way as well.
Yeah, and also I think a misconception is that, okay, I have to eat only maybe 1 or 2 meals a day instead of 3, but sometimes you actually can eat even more than 3 meals a day depending on your diet. So how does frequency of meals play a role in all this?
Frequency is huge. The more the better, actually. A lot of people have heard, eat every 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes that's not realistic for people, but I like to preach to people a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then a snack in between here and there to get to that magic number of 5. That's like the key number right there I found through most people of any height, weight, age, gender, doesn't matter. That magic number of 5 is key because it keeps your metabolism burning. It keeps you in a fit state to where you're not storing food. You're not storing fat, essentially.
All right, 5 meals a day. I mean, that sounds good to me. And so, obviously, there's a lot that goes into this. And if someone wants to maybe seek professional help from you or someone else, how can they get in touch with you guys?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, but really accessible. You can call Payne's Gym. Really, social media is one of the biggest methods, though, for sure.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Brody. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.